A slight minor wobble, which has seen our massive 22 match winning streak come to an end. Actually, I think it was 23 by the time all was said and done, but that's not really important now. But we've got big matches on the horizon as the quarterfinals of the Champions League are here. An opportunity to set up a revenge semifinal against Real Madrid. But first, we're going back to London, baby. Welcome back, everyone, and can you believe it? This is episode number 149 of Bottom to the Top. PSG currently still sitting at the top of the Ligue 1 table. We've already automatically qualified for the Europa League. It's just a matter of time before we earn our Champions League berth for next year. 28 matches played, 23 of them wins, 5 draws, including the last 2. So since you last saw us, we followed up a 3-0 victory over Bayer Leverkusen, 5-0 on aggregate, with a 5-1 win on the road at Lille. And then on either end of an international break, things started to get a little hairy for us. A 1-1 draw against Toulouse at home, currently sitting in third place on the table. Marseille in fifth. We eked out a 2-2 draw. They went ahead on a penalty in the waning moments of the first half. That put them ahead 2-1. We did battle back a pair of goals from Iñaki in that one. In fact, Iñaki scored all 3 goals in our last 2 matches. And we have a huge top-of-the-table matchup coming up against Rennes at home in between legs of the Champions League, which so far has been very, very good to us. 5-0 aggregate victory against Bayer Leverkusen in the round of 16. We are taking on Chelsea, who, like Leverkusen, are sitting in 10th place in their respective domestic league. They are currently 10th in the Premier League. The winner of this match will take on the winner of Real Madrid and Lazio, with Real Madrid having won the last 2 Champions Leagues. I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but pretty sure Real Madrid is going to win. Should we be able to hang on and get through our match at Stamford Bridge and then the return leg at the Parc des Princes, we will set up a rematch of last year's semifinal where we were edged by Real Madrid on penalties. Not something we would like to repeat, but we would at least have the opportunity to do so. Kim Seon-il is going to start in goal for the away leg here. It's going to be Brunelli, White, Tarasenko, and Anderson as our back 4. Cesar Ventura and Stein Gershkins in the midfield, with Glenn Oyvind Christensen taking the place of the still recovering Pietro Baldassare on the left wing. Lahorai Laribi coming back from an injury. He will be on the right. And Iñaki and Gershke Akar will be our striking pair up top. So we have still gone unbeaten in 28 straight in the league. Our only loss of significance was against Napoli. 3-1. That's really the only true blemish on our record so far this season. It has been an amazing run this year in Paris. We are in our dark kits. Chelsea wearing the blue with the white, I don't even remember what they called it. I knew I was going to have trouble once the underarm part. Sideboards? I don't know. Make up a word for it. Throw it down in the comments. Chelsea getting off the first 3 shots of the match as things going their way quite a bit, although it looks like we're starting to turn it on. We have enjoyed 71%, 75% now of the possession. And the first highlight will come in the 22nd minute. It's a corner kick from Christensen. Can't get it past Semedo, but he'll only clear it as far as the Rebi Akar trying to scoop it into the top corner. Felipe Dove had that covered pretty well, but it ultimately sails high and wide. Real Madrid already taking a 1-0 lead in their quarterfinal matchup against Lazio. Moss carrying it forward, runs right into Brunelli. Played ahead. Gershke Akar with 3 men around him, clears it out for Iñaki. Near side, Brunelli. He's got a man on him, but he'll still carry it up that sideline. Brunelli looking to cross it in. Back post, Laribi heading it on and over. And I feel like Lahorai Laribi quite a bit lately has been not as good with his heading game as we need him to be. Played long, Cano dropping it for Talbot. Ahead for Poliakov. Crossing it in, it will sneak through, and everybody misses it, including Kim Seon-il. hits off the post, and the clearance in, or at least the cross attempt, will be handled by Kim Seon-il. PSG really starting to try to take control of this game. We have the last 9 shots on goal, make that 11 shots on goal, the only 5 shots on target, but we're still tied 0-0. Gershke Akar sending it in. Odrego trying to clear it. Tarasenko hoping to pop a header over the goalkeeper and under the crossbar, but Felipe handles that easily. His 43 minutes have elapsed in this first half. Sent long looking for Moss. He will end up with it. Bad clearance by Brunelli. Moss with a shot hitting the side of the netting. And that will do it for the PSG, or the Chelsea attack. Their first shot on goal since the opening minutes of the game. Devin White, the only one on the score sheet. That's because he has a yellow card he picked up in the 5th minute. Things are going okay. I think as long as we stay tied in Chelsea at the very least, or of course if we can end up being ahead, that would be even better. Moss, Odrego are rather tired. Expect them to get subbed out, I would think, by Chelsea at some point here. But this second half, not a lot going on. We are still dominating in possession. We've got our tempo. We've got everything set. Let's knock the tempo up a little bit, because I think that maybe we can just dipsy-do Chelsea out of their shorts. Cano on the set piece, cleared away by Brunelli. Bertrand will track that one down. Bertrand still with it, taking it deep. Bekachecki puts a shot on, I don't know what his name is. These regens, man. It's going to ricochet off of Devin White and lead to another Chelsea corner. Cano sending it in, looking for Odrego. Again, cleared this time by Dmitry Tarasenko, but again tracked down by Bertrand. He is in the box. He'll throw it across the goal mouth, and that will go out for a goal kick. Nando coming in for Lockman, so still leaving out Odrego. Polyakov still very tired. Staying Gershkins for us is not in the greatest shape. Neither is Gershke Akar. So Akar is going to come out in place of Il LeBlanc. Staying Gershkins will make way for Xavi Simons. And those will be the 2 changes we made. We don't need Iñaki to run all that much, but he has been excellent lately. Cano again on the set piece, looking far post. Kim Seon-il will handle that one himself blissfully. Looking to get things going. Less than 20 minutes remaining in this match as he rolls it out to the left flank to Brunelli. Ahead, Christensen in control. Plays it all the way back to the edge of the 18. Tarasenko for Xavi. LeBlanc. Here's the attack. Iñaki, quickly Xavi to LeBlanc. Carrying it out wide to the right, up the sideline. LeBlanc, his cross is blocked, but it goes right into the path of Laribi. His shot will deflect on. Felipe making the save, and it will lead to a PSG corner. Maybe this would be the time to try to get Baldessari out there. I don't know. LeBlanc sending it in. Polyakov can't clear it past Tarasenko. Xavi over to White, and his shot is going to be just a bit too strong, as Pietro Baldessari is going to make his way on to the pitch. Cesar Ventura feeling a little bit nervous, so we're going to bring in Mattia Pinata, who has played pretty well in his limited action so far this year at Paris Saint-Germain. We are outshooting Chelsea 21-6. Hopefully we can break through in the final 15 minutes of this match, giving a nice positive attitude here. Anderson, though, controlling in his own end. Tarasenko will play it up for Xavi. Feeds Iñaki quickly to LeBlanc, who will look to move it forward. Meeting some resistance. Dishes it out wide to Laribi, who loses control to Talbot. Kadic dropping it for Felipe. Please turn it over here as Felipe will launch it forward. I really don't like these highlights where we turn the ball over. All right, see, there we go. We get it back. Nice touchdown by Baldessari, but he'll lose it to Nando. Antonio for Odrego. Cano spins it to Bekachecki. To Talbot, streaking in, chipping the keeper and the crossbar, and that will go out for a goal kick. Best opportunity of the second half for Chelsea, in my humble opinion. Just a couple of minutes to go. Chelsea in control at the edge of our defensive third. Anderson with it, knocked away by LeBlanc, but Kadic is there to pick up the loose ball. Played forward for Cano. He's got Bekachecki in again. He will beat Kim Seon-il once again, but a good job of the Korean goalkeeper to cut down the angle as he forced the shot wide. But it's been all Chelsea so far in the latter portions here. Xavi sending it forward. He's got Lahorai Laribi up for Iñaki. Baldessari playing it for Pinata, pushing it forward. Pinata flipping it toward Laribi, dropping it for LeBlanc, and his shot is going to go wide, but Laribi was deemed to be offside, and it will be a free kick for Chelsea. Just 3 minutes added on, and we are going to head back to Paris. Even 0-0 on aggregate, the third consecutive draw for PSG in all competitions. All right, we're remaining calm and not counting our chickens before they hatched, but after this, there are only 5 match weeks left, and PSG just knocked off Rennes in the league to extend our unbeaten streak this season in Ligue 1 to 29 matches. The difference was a goal by Pietro Baldassarre in the 2nd minute of added time of the first half. It would be all that we needed, although it came really close to scoring in added time in the second half to equalize this one. Stijn Gershkens missed his 3rd penalty of the season, which is really the only blemish on his record so far this year. Otherwise, he has been patently excellent. He's also made a good fair few as well. 7-5 your shots on goal. We did dominate possession in this one, and the win goes to PSG over the 2nd place team, which means we now sit 9 points clear with 5 matches left to go. So we just need to take on Chelsea, and we're still going to be alive in the semifinals of the Champions League, the semifinals of the Coupe de France, and on the precipice of recapturing the Ligue 1 title. 3 wins on our final 5 league matches should cinch things up, but right now we are focusing on a potential semifinal matchup against Real Madrid, which would be a chance to enact revenge on what happened last year. The winner of that will take on the winner of Bayern and Napoli, who have already made it through to the other semi-final. Here's our team that we're putting out there against Chelsea. We are heavy favorites in this one now that we are at home at the Parc des Princes. Kim Seon-il once again starting in goal. A back forward Brunelli, White, Tarasenko, and Jack Anderson. Stijn Gershkens will be paired with Damiano Diana, as Cesar Ventura is going to drop down to the bench, get the afternoon off. It'll be Pietro Baldassarre, the hero of the Rennes matchup, on the left wing, Lahorai Laribi on the right, and a strike pair of Iñaki and Gershke Akar. Hopefully we will play the way we are expected to play, get off to a nice early lead, so we can rest some of our starters. I'm not scared. We do have Lorient in the league coming up. Not really afraid of that matchup. They're currently sitting 10th on the table. But any win will get us closer and closer to that Ligue 1 title that we were denied last year by Rennes' near-perfect season. I know I've talked about that quite a bit. Free kick. White's going to lay it off for Stijn Gershkens, who will play it up the far side to Brunelli. Brunelli still carrying it up the line. He'll leave it for Baldassarre. Plays it back for Gershkens. Gershkens, will he square it up or drop it back? He'll drop it back to Devin White. Pushing it forward. The American-German dual national across for Anderson. He has plenty of green space in front of him. Feeds it through to Laribi in the middle for Akar. There's goal number 27 of the year, and PSG with a 1-0 lead. They were hoping to take in Chelsea that they finally got here at home in Paris. Now, Anderson, I kind of wish he pushed it up a little bit more authoritatively, but it was a beautiful through ball to Laribi, who easily found Gershke Akar sitting right in front of the net for the 1-0 lead. Gershkens sending in the corner. Akar can't get his head on that one. It's out for Gershkens. Diana in the box. He'll shoot and score. What a rocket across the grass. 2nd goal of the year for Damiano Diana. And within 15 minutes, PSG has jumped out to a commanding 2-0 lead. Played away. And I think the ball was intended for Cano. But Gershkens got it for Diana, who threw it across. It looks like it may have taken the deflection in. But regardless, Diana will be credited with the goal in the 11th and 15th minutes so far. Meanwhile, no score between Lazio and Madrid. Lazio is the home team in this leg. They may pull off a stunner. Madrid only won that first leg by a score of 1-0. Cano with the turn, and Pablo Cano right from the spot brings Chelsea back within 1. It only took about 7 minutes for them to do so. It's PSG 2, Chelsea 1, and this one came on the throw-ins are so dangerous. Adriago over for Moss, who dropped it back for Adriago. Cano turned and fired. Nothing that Devin White could have done about it. Only the second shot on goal of the match for Chelsea. Now, again, Real Madrid only leading 1-0 in their tie. Currently, no score between them and Lazio in Italy. If Lazio can come back, would make our road to the final just that little bit easier. I think we could take Real Madrid, but the big problem that we had with them is what led to the criticism of what made us change our tactical setup, which was we did not know and we could not effectively execute a way to see out a game. And what ended up happening, we had a nice, I believe it was a 3-goal lead, if I'm not mistaken, on aggregate that we blew in a 20-minute span in Madrid. And then we ended up losing on penalties. Baldassarre trying to sneak it past Felipe with the header. Could not get that one in. Felipe scooping that off of the ground. 13-6 your shots on goal. 72% of the possession once again for PSG. Hopefully, no surprises as we move forward. We are going to still demand more from our team because we like to demand more when we're only up by 1. Stain Gershkin's from the near corner. In. And headed on, but Iñaki could not get that on target. He's been very good with that. Iñaki scoring a number of headed goals. There was one match where he scored a hat trick where he did, I forget what they call it, but he scored once with his left foot, once with his right foot, and once with his head. I noticed that in the commentary below. Rolled out quickly, Baldassarre across for Diana, plays it for Akar, leaves it for Laribi. In a bit of traffic, so we'll spin it back to the center line. Tarasenko out for Anderson. Diana quickly out for Laribi. Nice touch passes to Gershke Akar before again playing it back to the safety of his back line. Tarasenko throwing it forward, looking for Laribi. Kadic is there, but he can't get it past Akar. Diana, Laribi off the post, and that will roll out for a Chelsea throw. There are 20 minutes remaining in this match. Now, we don't have essentially a backup left winger because Christensen was out with food poisoning. So I think we're going to stick with our starters for right now, unless we feel the need to get fresh legs out there. But I would really like them to see out what they started. Cano on the free kick, easily handled by Kim Seon-il as he redirects that back behind. But there are just over 10 minutes remaining in this match. And Chelsea putting the pressure on. They trail 2-1 here at the Parc des Princes. Cano floats in a corner. Adriago can't get his hand on it, but Lohman will settle it down. He had a man on him. Fed for Cano along the edge of the box. Taylor now dropping it back for Kadic. Please tell me. There we go. The highlight will end. Just about 10 minutes remaining. Actually, less. 5 minutes. And another final third throw-in for Chelsea. Oh boy, these are the ones that make me nervous. Poliakov into the box. Chavez, Taylor in. Adriago spins and save made by Kim Seon-il. So far, so good. As we're going to drop our mentality down, just be a little bit more cautious. I know going more defensive is the kiss of death, but when we first started playing FM24, I actually had a lot of success playing all the time on the cautious mentality. It'll just make us more of a counter-attacking team, which is something we are very good at. And we are able to, it was the right move. We pushed the right buttons. We are able to hang on to the 2-1 victory. We are moving on. And we are not moving on to the Bernabeu. No, Lazio knocked off Champions League returning champion, what do they call it? Incumbent champions? Real Madrid is out. It is Lazio and Paris Saint-Germain in the semifinals of the Champions League. So looking at our schedule, I'm not 100% sure how we are going to do this because we have 5 matches left in the league. We've talked about this. We are 9 points clear of second place Rennes. I want to bring you on camera our victory, or the time that we are able to lift the trophy as winners of Ligue 1. That could happen as early as the Nice matchup, which comes before the Champions League ties against Lazio, or it could happen during the Lyon match, which happens in the middle, or we may even have to wait all the way to Auxerre if we don't win those first 2. So we're coming back to lift the Ligue 1 trophy. Whatever Champions League action we get as well, we'll bring that to you at the same time And that's coming up tomorrow in our big 150th episode of Bottom to the Top. I can't believe we're actually at 150 since this game came out back in November. Thank you very much for joining me on this ride. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you have not, and come back tomorrow as we crown ourselves champions of League One. I'll see you then. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.